Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be reading from a passage in the Bible that I think has a pretty good lesson for us in this time period. This passage is coming from John chapter 2, and it's going to be reading from verses 13 to 22. I do want to say, I'll put up a copy of the scripture up here in a minute, but I'm reading primarily from the ESV, and also what I'm going to put up on the screen is also from the Logos app. Not at all paid promotion, nothing like that. It's just that's what I prefer to use. I find it the easiest to read and the easiest to study. But I'm going to go ahead and read and then kind of talk about it, a lesson with it. So this is a passage talking about Jesus cleansing the temple. And starting with verse 13, the Passover of the Jews was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. In the temple, he found those who were selling oxen and sheep and pigeons, and the money changers sitting there. And making a whip of cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and drove them all out of the temple. I lost my place there. With the sheep and oxen. And he poured out the coins of the money changers and overturned their tables. And he told those who sold the pigeons, take these things away. Do not make my father's house a house of trade. His disciples remembered that it was written, zeal for your house will consume me. So the Jews said to him, what sign do you show us for doing these things? Jesus answered them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. The Jews then said, it has been 46 years to build this temple, and you will raise it up in 3 days? But he was speaking about the temple of his body. Then, when therefore he was raised from the dead, his disciples remembered that he said this, and they believed the scripture and the word that Jesus had spoken. So the lesson that I'm pulling from this primarily comes from verses 13 to 17, ending with that point of zeal for your house will consume me. But it's mostly on this whole point of Jesus flipping tables in the temple when he saw that the Jewish leaders and everyone around there was desecrating God's temple in this time. And I feel like there's an important lesson that we can take as well because you see all of these instances nowadays of Protestant churches and evangelical churches where they will just split off whenever someone comes in with an issue that doesn't relate to scripture. They desecrate the temple. They come up with these false creeds that do not align with scripture, or they say that you don't have to teach scripture in church or reject the authority of scripture. And what do we see? We see these churches then just split off and leave. We're seeing this a lot with like the United Methodist now, with not actually doing what they need to do in regards to homosexual people leading churches. They shouldn't be leading it, but the United Methodist Church, instead of all these churches that have the correct standing, staying and flipping tables to making sure that the church of God is not desecrated, they then just leave and split off. And while I can understand it to a degree of not wanting to associate with it, we're given this example by Jesus himself of him going in, seeing this happening in his church and then wanting to just flip it over, get everything out right then and there. And my whole point is now is why are we not doing this today? We just do we see an issue and we just leave and just disassociate with it? I know there's that scripture of don't associate yourself with with the idolaters, with the um corrupt or with the wicked and stuff like that. Yeah, I get that. But this is God's church, and we should be trying to make sure that it is treated with the respect and with the righteous, like, and what it needs to be treated as. And so we see this passage and we see this example. Why are we not following it? And so that's where I'm going to end this video for today. I know it's very brief. It's a very brief teaching on this. I didn't want to go too in depth into it, other than just a matter of like, I see this, and this is something that I just really wanted to talk about. And this is one that I felt led to actually post a video. But thank you for watching. Thank you for watching all the way through if you did. But other than that, God bless you.